If you are someone who is tired all the time, irritated for no reason, or just not excited about the goal that you should be excited about, well, you need to hear this. Because 2 years ago, I was exactly in your position. And I promise, you're not broken, lazy, you're just not looking for the right thing. And for a long time, I can tell that I was not looking for that right thing. I didn't knew what was happening to me, and I hadn't any control over my life. I was grumpy for no reason. I had completely zero drive, and there was nothing that light me up in life. I was just happening to life, not living. But one day, one simple thing changed everything, and it was my testosterone. Learning how to control and boost my testosterone level really changed my life, and after a couple of time, I took the control over my life and really start living the way I should. And your testosterone runs is probably the most important thing that you should focus on as a man, because it drives your motivation, your confidence, your drive, and your libido. So those four important things are driven by your testosterone, and this is why it is so important to focus on it. And from the two main hormones in humans, such as estrogen and testosterone, testosterone is the hormone which is more like competition and I want to accomplish something hormone. So this is why as a man who wants to accomplish things, you should focus on this one. And just to let you know, testosterone let me go from that person, that guy. This was me 2 years ago. And after learning how to control my testosterone and boost it, I start taking the control over my life to become the person who is, I will say, better and who loves life and enjoy life way more than the previous guy I was 2 years ago. So let's get into it. The first thing you should focus on to max out your testosterone and boost your testosterone level is your sleep. This is the most important part of this video, and I want you guys to focus on that one thing and fix that one thing first. You should get between 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and I will highly recommend to get at least 8 if you can. This will really allow you to build and create the more testosterone as possible to really have the higher test level. And as the two image here that I will explain, you need to have some deep sleep and some REM sleep on a really high level to really build the more testosterone as possible. So as the first image, you can see on the up right, your sleep cycle. This represents your sleep cycle over time. So when you first get to sleep, you go directly to bottom, which is the deep sleep. Deep sleep is where your body repairs and also you create hormone in that section. Then you go up again to the REM sleep, and this is where you are dreaming. And in that zone, you're also creating some hormones. So people who lack sleep do not create as much hormones as the one who are sleeping on a longer time, longer period, and creating more hormones. To have a better sleep, you also need to understand your circadian rhythm. This rhythm is basically your inside clock or personal body clock, which tells you that when there is sun, you need to wake up, and when there is some moonlight or when there's the moon, you need to go to sleep. So to focus and really boost that circadian rhythm, you should take some sunlight in the morning, and in the evening avoid screen for about an hour before you go to sleep to really create the more melatonin as possible. Other than that, if you want to have a better sleep, I will highly recommend you to have, again, no late screen, a darker room, no noise, and be in a colder room. So this is pretty much it. And if you're able to focus on those simple things, you will have a way greater sleep. And we want a way better sleep to have the more testosterone as possible. The second thing you should do to boost your testosterone is to lift heavy. And when I mean lift heavy, I mean do some heavy pressing movements such as the bench press, the incline bench press, the shoulder press, barbell rows, squat, deadlift. So all of those heavy pressing press where you do not do a lot of reps, but you're really pushing really hard. This is where you will be using the more muscle tissue as possible, and this will create, in a way, some testosterone. And I want you guys to do progressive overload, because over time lifting the same weight will become easier, so you should never be in a comfortable position and lift heavier every single time. And this is how you really create the more testosterone as possible. It is to reaching failure the most as you can, or getting toward failure the closer as you can. The next thing that you could do, or that you should do, to boost your testosterone is to be lean, because lean is low and you need to cut your body fat. As you can see on the chart on the right, I put image of many different body fats, and I recommend you guys to be between 8% to 18%. Not below, not too high, because when you are too high, when you have too much fat, your fat create some estrogen. And when you're creating estrogen, you cannot create some testosterone. So your goal is to kill the estrogen, and to do that you need to cut your body fat. But how to lose weight? Simple thing. You need to have a calorie deficit, and that is pretty much just one thing that you need to know. So have a calorie deficit to lose some weight, and if you want to stay jacked or stay in shape, you need to keep your grams of protein. But when you want to cut fat, you just need to have your calorie deficit. And I do not recommend also to you guys to go below 8%, because this could be dangerous. When you're in that zone, you're really not eating a lot, and yeah, this could be dangerous, and you're actually producing less testosterone when you're in that level. Now, your fuel. So to have a high testosterone level, you need also to take some good fuel and have fuel to max out your testosterone level. And you could do that to healthy fats, having more zinc, vitamin D, and magnesium. Personally, I only take healthy fats and vitamin D, but having zinc and magnesium are just a plus if you want to reach even higher level of testosterone. But the thing that you should focus on are healthy fats. And there is a list of healthy fats that you could take. There are pretty simple ones that you could take, such as avocados, eggs, fatty fish, and olive oil, which are really, really simple. And just having some of them into your diet or your daily meal will really help you to produce some cholesterol, which then will create some testosterone. And then, like I said, the zinc is not necessary, but if you want to reach really higher level of testosterone, you could take some. Then the magnesium is pretty much the same thing, but another important thing is the vitamin D. And like I said, you should take some sunlight in the morning to tell yourself the day is started. Now, the stress and the cortisol. For the ones who see the meme cortisol, having a low cortisol, well, this is not a meme. You should always in life have low cortisol, because cortisol is the hormone of stress. And in life, you should not be stressed because it kills your testosterone. But how should you manage your stress? There are two simple things that you could do to manage your stress, such as doing some respiration exercise. So just taking a 10 minutes to do some meditation or respiration exercise. This will really calm you and manage your stress. Or another simple thing is to journal and write on a piece of paper what are the things that you worry about, and then finding some actions to solve those problems. And this is how you basically kill your stress. Now, another simple thing is to cut alcohol. Alcohol is really your enemy if you want to have a high testosterone level. So you should cut all the alcohol as you can. And I don't mean every time. It is okay sometime to have one drink or two drink, but not more, because it will create some cortisol, the hormone of stress, and kill your testosterone. So we don't want that. And also, the alcohol do not let you go into the REM sleep. You just go into deep sleep and you do not really recover and create hormones because of the alcohol. So cut the alcohol. You don't need it. You can have fun without it. So yeah, cut the alcohol. This is pretty much it, guys. This is how you really max out your testosterone and you take control over your life. I hope that ruling your testosterone and controlling your testosterone will have the same effect as it's done on me, because I promise, guys, that there is no better feeling than really feeling alive in this life and in this universe, feeling that you're able to achieve things and that you are able to realize hard things and things that people aren't able to do. So, letting you on this beautiful image of David Goggins. See you in the next one, guys, and have a high test level.